Welcome back everybody to negative number review. So we have our retrieval practice. Get your 10-minute timer ready as always. Okay, so now we're on to 6A. So a new set of 6 questions. Some may be similar to ones on the last. They all maybe not. But either way, this will be questions of things that we have definitely been focusing on, and we should be starting to improving our score on these all the time. So pause the video, give these a go over 10 minutes, and then press play when you're ready for the answers. Okay, get your green pens, make the needed corrections, if any, and hopefully we got 4/5 or more. If you didn't, don't worry, we just keep improving. Okay, so on to the lesson objective for today. Be able to understand negative double sign calculations. Okay, so we're now on to this where you are flying when you can identify double signs for the calculation, e.g. plus and a plus means. Well, what does a plus and a plus mean together when we say that double the signs? And then we're going to be looking at applying the double signs consistently to your questions to get your answers, and hopefully they'll be right. And how can we explain how we found that answer? So I'm looking for you to understand the double signs and being able to at the end explain what double signs mean and how that you got to your answer. Right guys, let's get really going here. So we don't want to get confused, and what I mean is I'm going to talk about these negative symbols. Now the first thing I want you to either remember or become familiar with straight away is the sign. These negative signs belong to the number after it. So this negative sign here belongs to this 8, and this negative sign here belongs to this 2, and this negative sign here belongs to this 2, and so on. This is a positive 8, and we don't need a positive sign in front of it, but you can put one just for good practice. This positive sign belongs to the number after it. Again, on this occasion, 8. And the reason I'm telling you this is this little rule is going to help us, okay, when we're working out bigger calculations and calculations like this here. It's going to help us work out some longer answers, okay. Now let's move on to the more important, the main rule, okay. So when we've got double signs, the first thing we need to know is when we have a plus and a plus, that equals a plus. And when we have a minus and a minus, or shall I say negative and a negative, that equals a plus. So when you have the two symbols the same in a calculation, depending on where they are, it equals a plus, okay? And I'll get onto that in a minute. But quickly, when you have a plus and a negative, that equals a negative answer. And when you have a negative and a plus, the opposite way around, same thing, you have, again, a negative answer. Now, let's say, for example, okay, we have -3, and it's plus -8, okay. What answer is that going to be? A plus or a negative? Now, how we can know this is when the double signs, sorry about that actually, if I was trying to highlight it. So when the double signs, I'll put a highlight under it. Are cuddling, so I've got that here. When the double signs are next to each other, and the cuddling, so this plus and this minus are cuddling, they're next to each other, okay, that's going to give us, well, if we look over here, it's going to give us a negative answer. So the rule is to remember, when we have the double signs, so when the signs are next to each other like this, the plus and the minus, and the cuddling, that's when you apply, okay, the double sign rule. That's when you apply it. So minus 3 plus minus 8, well, it's going to be a negative answer, okay, so that's going to give us, well, minus 3 plus minus 8 is going to give us, yeah, minus 11, okay, minus 11. However, let's look at it this way. Let's do another example underneath. So, similar numbers, but different double sign. So we've got minus 3 again, and we've got minus 8. Now then, some of you already know from the explanation what the answer is. If we look here over to the left, a minus and a minus equal positive. We know that the negative symbol and the negative symbol are next to each other. They're cuddling. So that must mean that the answer is going to be positive. So we need to do minus 3 plus 8. So let's get to 0. Well, we put 3 on, and then we've got 5 left. That means the answer is going to be 5, which would be positive 5. So it's really important that we remember the rule when we're looking at our examples and our questions soon, that we notice when their symbols are cuddling, what symbols they are and what answer that must need. And we can use, remember, by looking at, if it's the same symbol, it's a positive, and if it's the different symbols cuddling, it's a negative answer, okay? Right, onto some I do's and we do's. So let's get flying, okay? So we need to find the missing value, and we need to work it out basically. So we've got 7, subtract negative 4. Well, are they cuddling? Yes. Okay, so that means it's going to be 7 plus 4, and the answer is 11. Alright, pause the video, have a go at the we do, and when you're ready, press play. So well done if you got the first one right. It would be 14. 5 plus 9 on this occasion. Okay, on to the next I do. Now notice here the symbols are different, and I know that this is going to equal a negative answer. And they are cuddling, remember, that's why we're doing it. So 7 minus 4, nice and easy, 3. Pause the video, have a go at the we do. Okay, so this time we've got the same symbols. It's going to be 5, take away, subtract 9, and we're going to end up at minus 4. Some more to practice. Okay, the I do. So this time we've got an extra symbol. So I've got my negative symbol in front of the 7. I know that that symbol belongs to the 7. Okay, because we said before that little rule to remember as well. So that little rule after the big rule, the sign belongs to the number after it. Okay, so we're starting there, and we've got a positive and a negative. So these cuddling symbols, we know that we're going to be getting a minus, subtracting answer. So minus 7, subtract minus 4 is going to leave us with minus 11. Pause the video and have a go at the we do, please. Well done if you got minus 14. Starting at minus 5, taking away the 9, and there we are. There's our answer. Next I do, okay. So minus 7. We've got a cuddling set of negative symbols, which means I need to add. So minus 7, add 4 is going to give me minus 3. Your turn. Minus 4. Oh, sorry. My apologies, Mr. Walker was daydreaming. 4. There we go. Okay, a few more examples to practice. As we can see, these examples are calculations are getting longer. -7, got a double cuddle symbol, and we've got a 10 plus 10 as well. Okay, it's got a plus that positive 10. So let's start from left to right. Well, we're going to be adding this 4 because of the cuddling symbols. So that's going to take us to -3, and then we need to add another 10, so that's going to take us all the way to 7. Right, your turn to have a go at this one. Okie dokie, well done if you got 0. -5 plus the 9 gets us to 4, and then we've got 2 more cuddling symbols. So we've got one set here, and that is going to then take the 4 back off, and we end up at 0. Okay, lots of symbols now, loving it. We've got 2 cuddling sets, so that means we're going to be adding twice because they're both the same. And -7, add the 4, -3, add the 10. Oh, we're going to end up back at 7 again. Your turn. Same as the we do above, back to 0. Let's get through these. Okay, -7 minus the 4, -11, plus the 11, because they're doubling symbols together and plussing, that means plus. So plus 10, that's going to be -1. Your turn. -10 on the we do. Good challenging on that. Well done if you got it right. Okay, -7 starting point. We've got a plus and a negative, which equals a negative. So let's take that away. So we end up at -10 to start with. And then we've got another plus and negative, so we need to take that away. So minus another 10 from -10. And our answer is -20. Pause the video and have a go at yours. Okay, on that occasion, a big -28. Lots of subtracting there with the double plus and minus cuddling symbols. Last example by the looks of things. Okay, -4. We take away the 4, so that's going to get us to -10. Now we've got a double set of cuddling negative symbols, which means we must add. So we're going to add 11 onto -10, and that's going to take us all the way to 1. Nice. Give your last one a go before we do some questions. Another answer is 0. Well done, you must be getting good at these now. Keep up the hard work and keep challenging yourself. Okay, your first set of questions. We've got a range. They do get longer. Pause the video, have 10 minutes on these. Should get all 10 done comfortably. And when you're ready, press play and reveal the answers. Get your green pen, please, and make any corrections needed, and tick away as well. When you're ready, move on. Okay, second set of questions. Are we able to understand negative symbol calculations? We've done lots of practice. Are we meeting that learning objective yet? Are we getting answers right? Do we fully understand how we're doing it? Have a go at these. Give yourself another 10 minutes, please. And move on when you're ready. It's that time again. Start ticking away. I've got a funny feeling you've been really good at them. And you've really grasped this this golden rule of double signs and that cuddling. Everyone loves a cuddle. Okay, we've got lots of questions here. Really pushing it now, making sure that we really drill this skill home. Let's go at it, guys. Set the timers and really test yourself out in 10 minutes here. You can do all of them. Come on. Move on when you're ready. Okay, I'm expecting nothing less than the full 20 marks because you've had so much practice. No, I'm only joking. But if you have got that 20, well done with them standards. Really, really good. And we want to be aiming. We want to be aiming to get as many as we can right, as always. And if we're getting 15 or more, fantastic. Pushing 16, 17. Why not? Make the corrections and keep them good habits, please. Can you figure out where you went wrong? If you did get any wrong. Okay, now it's asking us to fill the gaps with a missing L in the fill. There it is. Fill the gaps. So we're going to be having to look to, okay, maybe work backwards, a different starting point other than at the start, for example, on G, all right, in the middle on B. Okay, we're going to have to really start using our brains to get around these problems here. Best of luck. Okay, there are the golden numbers on question number 4. Get your green pens. Righto, we're back to that very important reflection slide. Have you been able to understand negative number calculations? I'm sure you've made vast improvements today. However many you got right, as long as you now know that golden rule of the cuddling and them symbols together, you know when to apply it. Okay. And in our success criteria, you are flying when you can identify those double symbols, which you have been doing. Okay, so e.g., what does a plus and a plus mean? Well, you should be able to tell me now. And are we applying it? Are we applying them consistently? And can you explain how you found your answer? Okay, can you explain to me why it was a positive answer or why it was a negative answer? Okie dokie. And it's really important as well that you only apply the golden rule when you have the symbols next to each other. If the symbols aren't next to each other and it's back on the examples that we had before right at the start where it's minus 2 times, or negative 2 shall I say, times negative 8. Well, there's 2 negative symbols, but they're not next to each other, they're not cuddling, so that means that it isn't going to necessarily be a positive answer. That rule doesn't apply there. We work it out as we see it. Oh, we've got a negative 2 and we need to times a negative 8, so that would be negative 16. Okay, so really make sure that you don't confuse the fact that when they're not next to each other, the rule doesn't apply. Okay. And lastly, always looking for people to send the work to my email address, or when you have Mr. McNeil for year 8 as well, and any other teachers that you're doing this work for, send them your work, ask them for the email if you're at home, and then it's important because then we can send it on to Mrs. McKay and Mr. Keenan, and it will be acknowledged, and you will pick up achievement points for your efforts and doing that homeworking, which we want to see. And we can also put examples on certain Instagrams, whether it might be the year Instagram, it's a really good piece of work, maths Instagram for the school. So always something to work towards as well. And we always want to be looking to celebrate the achievement of people's work. So well done again, guys. You've worked hard today, and look forward to the next lesson. Bye.